Hello, I'm Mark Hillier. I'm the Senior Patient Experience Manager at Birmingham Women's and Children's NHS Foundation Trust. We've been looking at different ways of using innovations in technology to improve the patient experience of non-English speaking and sensory impaired patients and their families. Our trust recognised that delays in sourcing face-to-face interpreters impacts on clinical waiting time, and it denies a voice to people who are already anxious and to families at a time when communicating with staff is really critical. We set out to find a solution that would allow all of our patients and families equal access to communicate with staff without relying on an interpreter being booked in advance. During the process, we discovered that interpreting on demand via video FaceTime was an emerging service being offered from the USA and currently being trialled in the UK through a company called Language Line. I'm going to hand across now to Ella, who's going to tell you a little bit more about what we found.
Hi, my name is Ella Ortega. I'm the Interpreting Services Coordinator. I'm now going to talk about the interpreting device. So we named the device Dora after Dora the Explorer to further personalise the service, and doing this made it even more accessible to patients and staff as it removed the technology element of the service. The device is basically an iPad that's been mounted on a stand that is lightweight and portable and can be transferred easily around the hospital. The face-to-face screen and speakers eliminate the need for using telephone handsets to have awkward audio interpreting conversations, leaving patients and staff to have as natural conversation as possible. What's great about the Dora device is that it allows one-touch access to trained professional interpreters in seconds. It works anywhere with sufficient Wi-Fi. So now there's 240 languages available via audio call 24/7 and 40 languages via video call at a timetable. It used to be 36, but now there's 40 available, and this includes British Sign Language. I'm now going to hand you over back to Mark. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Zakaria Hassan. I'm an interpreter at Birmingham Women's and Children's Hospital. I'll be demonstrating how Dora works. So it's easily accessible. You just click this button and it will give you the option of which languages that you need. Sometimes you will need to use the search button to select the language that you need. So for example, if we connect to a Portuguese interpreter, you'll click on it and it will give you two options, interpreting via video or audio. So in this instance, we use a video call and it will connect us to a Portuguese interpreter. It's connecting, so it will just take a couple of seconds until it connects us to a Portuguese interpreter.
Thank you for calling. This is Jessica with the ID number 359261, and I'll be your Portuguese interpreter today. This call may be monitored for training and quality assurance purposes. May I please have your first and last name?
Hello, my name is Zakaria Hassan, calling from Birmingham Women's and Children's Hospital. This call is just a testing call. We're recording a video to show our staff on how Dora works with Language Line.
Dora device is ideal for emergencies and short appointments. It's particularly successful for use with patients and families requiring British Sign Language, as connecting to a qualified professional interpreter takes up to a minute, rather than potentially hours waiting for a physical BSL interpreter to become available if not pre-booked. The device has proven to be particularly invaluable to patients and staff in the emergency department at the Children's Hospital and in the delivery suite at the Women's Hospital. These two departments often have patients arriving with no prior history to the trust and therefore wouldn't have had the opportunity to book an interpreter in advance. In addition to Dora, we also have our contracted agencies for 24/7 call-outs, hard to find languages and dialects, and off-site work in the community. We have valued in-house interpreters and link workers who work with families on a long-term basis through maternity care, and they deal with difficult and sensitive situations. We're also lucky to have a suite of bank interpreters who cover our most popular languages and build a rapport and understanding of our patients, families and services.
Although not formally evaluated, we have received great feedback. A perfect example is when a staff from Ward 2 called to request an urgent interpreter for a Portuguese family whose child had suddenly gone into cardiac arrest. Within 2 minutes, we were able to wheel a device to the family and connect to a trained Portuguese interpreter. The interpreter was able to calmly explain to the family in their language what was happening, and it also allowed staff to ask vital questions to the parents that they would have struggled to do without the device. Thankfully, the child was able to be revived and the situation was quickly de-escalated. Without having the device on site, it would not have been possible to have a physical interpreter on time. The family and staff highly praised the professionalism of the interpreter who appeared via video link and the news service as a whole.
Dora received praise from doctors for the ability to use swiftly to gain consent, and young people find this technology easy. They're familiar with the iPad style. Dora's perfect for cost savings. It avoids a 1 hour charge for those shorter 10-minute consultations. Dora played a starring role in a number of patient journeys being filmed at Birmingham Women's Hospital as part of the BBC documentary Life and Birth. One example, the documentary team filmed a woman needing a caesarean section whose husband was deaf. It was difficult to book a physical BSL interpreter as the time of the procedure was unclear, but instead we made Dora available to the family to take to the theatre at the exact point they needed it. The surgeon connected to a professional BSL interpreter within 30 seconds, and they supported the husband throughout the procedure.
We are very proud of the difference introducing Dora at Birmingham Women's and Children's Hospital has made to the experience of non-English speaking and sensory impaired patients and families. Effective communication is such a vital part of a patient's experience. It is important that every patient and families have the same opportunity to communicate and be heard no matter the situation, and Dora has tremendously helped the trust in doing so.